It became one of the most controversial Hollywood cases of the 1970s, where beauty, fame, and the law collided violently. After nearly 50 years of silence, the public still asks, where is Claudine Longet, and is her conscience ever haunted? In today's video, we revisit that shocking case and learn about Claudine Longet's current life. Claudine Longet was born in Paris on January 29, 1942, into a well-off middle-class family. Her father was an engineer specializing in X-ray technology, and her mother was a doctor. Although raised in a scientific environment, Claudine turned to the arts at an early age. By 17, she was performing at the Folies Bergère, a Parisian theater known for its iconic dancers and entertainment culture. Her gentle demeanor, cinematic face, and commanding stage presence made her stand out. In 1960, her life took a major turn when Lou Walters, the owner of a famous Las Vegas nightclub and father of journalist Barbara Walters, saw her perform and invited her to the U.S. to appear at the Tropicana Hotel. Eager to expand her career, she accepted. At just 18, Claudine arrived in Las Vegas and quickly attracted media attention, especially from music superstar Andy Williams, best known for his hit Moon River. Claudine and Andy met in 1961 during a performance where she was a dancer and he was the main act. He was instantly drawn to her elegance and calm charm. Their romance quickly led to marriage, propelling Claudine into the heart of American showbiz. But she was no passive spouse. Claudine took singing and acting lessons and worked hard to establish herself. Her appearances on The Andy Williams Show helped her showcase her unique style, often performing French songs or soft, European-influenced pop that distinguished her from her American peers. Between 1962 and 1968, Claudine became a regular television presence, embodying a graceful and romantic image that resonated with the American public. In 1967, Claudine signed with A&M Records, a prestigious label co-founded by Herb Alpert. Her debut album Claudine reached the top 15 on the Billboard 200. Known for her whispery voice and soft bossa nova style, Claudine blended English and French lyrics and created a distinctly feminine sound that stood out in the era of rock and soul. Songs like Hello Hello, Love is Blue, and Wander Love received consistent radio play, particularly in cities like New York and Los Angeles. She followed up with albums like The Look of Love, Colors, and Run Wild Run Free. Although her commercial success began to wane as the music industry shifted toward more experimental genres, Claudine maintained a loyal fan base. She also dabbled in acting, appearing in shows like McHale's Navy, Combat, Hogan's Heroes, The Rat Patrol, and Alias Smith and Jones. Her most notable film role came in 1968's The Party, starring alongside Peter Sellers. Though the film was experimental, Claudine's soft, enigmatic presence added depth to her character. While her roles were often small, she left a lasting impression. By the early 1970s, Claudine's career had begun to slow. She left A&M Records, and with Andy Williams attempted to start a new label, though it failed to meet expectations. Her final notable musical contribution came in 1975 on the Grammy-winning children's album The Little Prince, though her role went largely unrecognized. Despite fading fame in the U.S., Claudine's music maintained popularity in Japan, where her retro French style continued to attract fans. But her artistic decline was overshadowed by personal tragedy. Following her divorce from Andy Williams, Claudine entered a new relationship that would thrust her back into the public eye, this time not as a performer, but as the central figure in one of Hollywood's most infamous murder cases. In 1972, while attending a charity skiing event in Aspen, she met Spider Savage, a charming and accomplished Olympic skier. Their whirlwind romance soon turned dark, ending in a fatal shooting that left the world stunned and forever changed Claudine Longet's legacy. At a charity skiing event in Bear Valley, California, Claudine Longet met Vladimir Spider Savage, an American Olympian who had finished fifth in the slalom at the 1968 Grenoble Olympics and later became a charismatic professional skier and media darling. Their relationship quickly intensified, and within a year, Claudine and her 3 children moved into Spider's luxurious villa in Starwood near Aspen, Colorado. Although Claudine found peace in Aspen's serene environment, their domestic life grew tense. Spider, unaccustomed to family responsibilities, felt increasingly constrained, while Claudine reportedly struggled with jealousy over the attention Spider received from other women. On March 21, 1976, the tension turned tragic. According to police, Spider was preparing to shower when Claudine entered the bathroom holding a Luger pistol. Moments later, shots were fired, and Spider was fatally wounded in the abdomen. Claudine claimed the gun discharged accidentally while Spider was showing her how to use it, unaware it was loaded. However, the investigation revealed troubling inconsistencies. The pistol had been fired deliberately more than once. Claudine tested positive for cocaine, though the test was inadmissible, and her diary contained negative entries about Spider, also excluded due to procedural errors. Despite the circumstantial evidence, Claudine was only charged with negligent manslaughter and went on trial in January 1977. Public opinion was sharply divided, and the media frenzy turned the quiet ski town into a national spotlight. Backed by a strong legal team, including attorney Ron Austin, who would later become her husband, and financially supported by her ex-husband Andy Williams, Claudine's defense effectively neutralized much of the prosecution's case due to legal missteps. After a brief 4-day trial and only 4 hours of jury deliberation, Claudine was found guilty of criminally negligent homicide. She received a sentence of 30 days in jail to be served on weekends, 2 years probation, and a $250 fine. Additionally, an out-of-court settlement with Spider's family required her to never publicly speak about the case. In 1978, the Savage family filed a civil lawsuit seeking $780,000 in damages, which also ended in a confidential settlement enforcing her silence. Following the trial, Claudine vanished from the public eye. No interviews, no memoirs, and no public appearances followed. Her silence and light sentencing stirred lasting public outrage, and her name became synonymous with one of the most controversial celebrity legal cases of the 1970s. In a twist, she eventually married Ron Austin, the very attorney who defended her in court. After the case ended, Ron Austin left his previous marriage and moved in with Claudine Longet in Aspen. The couple married on June 1, 1985, and chose to live a completely private life, staying far from media attention. Claudine disappeared entirely from public life. She stopped attending social events, distanced herself from the entertainment industry, and made no appearances related to showbiz for the next 3 decades. As of 2023, Claudine Longet is 81 years old. Reports confirmed that she and Ron sold their Aspen mansion for approximately $59.5 million and moved to Hawaii. No further information has been released about her health, assets, or exact location. She does not use social media, has no official online presence, and continues to deny the use of her image in any commercial works. All remaining knowledge about her life comes from archived materials or third-party sources. In recent years, podcasts, news articles, and social media videos have reignited interest in the Savage case. Many younger audiences, born long after the trial, see her story as a symbol of celebrity privilege and legal inequality. Others argue that her 40 years of self-imposed exile, without a career or public reputation, is a form of hidden punishment that has lasted a lifetime. Nearly half a century later, the name Claudine Longet still sparks confusion, controversy, and debate.